A woman came to see me, 26 years old, and said, Marina, things are good overall, but sometimes I feel like I'm being touched off a checklist. Neck, then this, then straight to it, like he's afraid to stop anywhere else. And that's exactly the problem I want to talk about today. A woman's body isn't just breasts, the backside, and the area between her legs. There are other parts of the body you can touch, kiss, and caress, and 9 out of 10 men never do this, simply because they don't know about it. Stimulating these overlooked zones turns her on significantly and often becomes the missing piece on the path to real pleasure. Today I'm covering 8 unusual but genuinely important zones, touching which can push her completely over the edge. Once you discover these zones, chills will run down her spine, and she'll get an experience with you she won't forget, which means she'll keep coming back for more. Stay until the end because in the finale, I'll tell you about the single most important part of her body, stimulating which guarantees strong arousal. And without understanding this point, every other technique works at half strength. Zone number 1, the ears. Few men know this, but ears are incredibly sensitive, and they need more than just sweet or dirty words whispered into them. Light fingertip touches, gentle stroking, kisses, soft licking with the tongue both outside and inside the ear. All of this causes chills specifically because ears are so sensitive. You can start with light finger touches to the earlobe, then move to kisses or gentle licking with the tongue. You can even softly nibble the earlobe, but always watch her reaction to make sure there's no pain, because pain instantly ruins the entire experience. Add a few explicit words whispered into her ear on top of stimulating the earlobes, and the effect multiplies. It drives her wild and significantly intensifies arousal. Zone number 2, the neck. Many specialists consider the neck the most sensitive part of the female body, and according to several studies, women rate the neck as an even more erogenous zone than the nipples and breasts. The neck responds to the slightest touch, a kiss, a light bite, or a movement of the tongue, and it's one of those zones you simply can't forget about in bed. Start with simple, gentle kisses on the neck. Then bring in the tongue and teeth, running your tongue up and down the entire length of the neck, finding the right balance between a light bite and releasing it at the right moment. That exact balance makes all the difference. Zone number 3, the lips. And yes, this sounds fairly obvious, but that's exactly why it deserves to be on this list. Most men don't use their lips nearly enough. A kiss is one of the fastest and simplest ways to arouse a woman, but most men either do it too rarely, too rushed, incorrectly, or skip it entirely. Sex isn't about jumping straight to the main event the way it's shown in movies. You need to slow down and gradually arouse her entire body, and a kiss is a perfect place to start. It raises dopamine levels in the brain and stimulates oxytocin production, and both of these chemicals create pleasurable feelings and lift mood. Believe it or not, a long, passionate kiss can produce enough oxytocin to bring a woman almost to the edge of arousal on its own. So kiss, and don't rush it. Zone number 4, the head. And this is genuinely one of the best places to touch in bed, a great spot to begin foreplay. The scalp isn't just hair, it's covered in nerve endings that trigger pleasant sensations, and a scalp massage stimulates even more oxytocin production, that same feel-good hormone mentioned earlier. Run your fingers through her scalp using fingertips and lightly your nails. With gentle, circular, and upward motions, massage the base of the head, the area behind the ears. Work through the entire scalp and the hairline to help her relax. A massage like this almost always lifts her mood and prepares her body for further arousal. Zone number 5, the lower back. The back is full of muscles and nerve endings that respond positively to touch, and the lower back is especially sensitive. A back massage quickly stimulates those nerve endings, relieves stress after a long day, and arouses at the same time. Gently massage the back, paying special attention to the sacrum, the area right above the tailbone, which is covered in nerve endings, and the reaction is almost always immediate. During sex, you can even turn her around and kiss this exact spot. It works incredibly well because, as mentioned, this is an extremely sensitive area, and the back overall responds well to touch. So don't be afraid to stimulate this zone too. Zone number 6, the inner knee. And for many, this will be a genuine surprise. The inner side of the knee is a very sensitive spot to touch. And what's particularly interesting is that most women aren't used to being touched there at all, yet this spot is absolutely packed with nerve endings. This won't just bring pleasure, it'll surprise her in a good way, precisely because most men never do this. You don't need to do much, just touch and linger there for a moment, and that kind of caress will do the job on its own. Vary the pressure, and you'll see her start to get worked up from this one touch alone. Zone number 7, the inner thighs. Most men skip this zone because it's located so close to the main point of focus that they just rush past it entirely. Don't be like most men. The inner thighs are highly sensitive, and caresses here send chills through her entire body. Spend a little time right here before moving on to her main spot of pleasure. It's a perfect way to tease and build anticipation. And the higher the arousal built up beforehand, the more pleasure she ends up experiencing in the end. And the final 8th zone, the feet. Each foot has more than 7,000 nerve endings, making them one of the most sensual parts of the female body. These nerve endings have an exceptionally strong connection to the brain and trigger a powerful response when stimulated. In simple terms, this turns her on a great deal. Knowing this, don't be afraid to touch her toes. Gently lick or softly suck on them. Some studies even show that this kind of stimulation can be as pleasurable as oral sex, if you find the right rhythm. And like much of what's been covered today, this zone is something most men completely ignore, which means stimulating it will genuinely set you apart and show her that you truly understand how to please a woman. And since we're talking about truly satisfying a woman, I want to mention the single most important part of the body, stimulating which creates real, deep attachment. And it's not something on today's list, and it's definitely not the breasts, nipples, or the G-spot, which have already been covered plenty elsewhere. The most sexual part of the female body is her brain. For a woman, sex is first and foremost a psychological experience, not a purely physical one, and most men don't understand this simply because it works differently for them. But it's important to eventually understand this, because understanding female psychology is the real key to genuine arousal. And if you actually understand what it takes in a relationship, monotony will simply never set in. And your partner will always be genuinely interested in being close with you. Subscribe, I break down topics like this every week from the standpoint of real physiology, not internet myths. Link in the description for questions you'd rather not ask out loud anywhere else.